Hey guys, how's it going? David Seitz here, and I am here today to give you my review of the Canon Rebel T3i. I got this as a request from someone who watches my vlog channel. They commented and asked if I could do a little review on it, and I said sure, I'll do it just for you. Before we jump into things, I just want you to know that I'm not a photographer, so I don't know all of the professional things about cameras and generally photography. Okay, so let's move on with the review. This is the Canon T3i. I've got a 50mm lens on it, which is just great. I'll talk about lenses in a second. Here you can see this is the back of it. It looks a lot like the other Rebel cameras, so if you're thinking of upgrading from a previous Rebel camera, you'll be able to do that with a lot of ease. Here's the top of it. The controls again are much like the past Rebels. And there's the side of it. Now, one of the most important things about this camera, I would say, is that, of course, this does video like the T1i and the T2i. I think it started with the T1i. This camera has a mic input. What that means is you can install a camera on top of this, such as a shotgun mic. I'm actually using a shotgun mic for this right now. If you're looking for a mic, by the way, I highly recommend the Rode Video mic. Great stuff. But with this audio input, this allows you to record a much higher quality than the audio recording that comes with the camera alone. That's a big deal, because if you didn't have an audio input, you would have to record onto another device and then sync it up yourself on the computer. It's a little bit of a hassle, so this saves you time and money from having to buy another recording device. It's also got an HDMI out. I actually don't use this a lot, but if you like to do that sort of thing, you've got that option at least. Before this camera, I had the Canon Rebel XSI. That's about 2 or 3 years old. Some differences between the two cameras. The buttons on here feel a lot softer. They're also a little bit smaller, so they don't come out of the camera as much. But as far as arrangement, it's pretty much the same. One thing I am a little annoyed about is the zoom buttons here, which is mostly for digital zoom as far as reviewing pictures goes. It's a little bit harder to press than my old camera. I'm not sure why that is, but I noticed that I had to press a little bit harder to make those buttons work. So why did I upgrade from the Canon XSI to the Canon T3i? Well, I've been doing a lot of video lately, especially video for the web. I've got a great HD camera, which I'm using to record right now, but I was really looking for something more, something that could provide a nice aesthetic. This camera that I'm using right now works fine. It allows you to put lens attachments on it. It's the Canon Vixia HSF200. In fact, I've got a wide-angle lens on it right now, but that really wasn't enough as far as trying to get really compelling imagery. I've been looking at getting a DSLR for video for quite some time now, and when I heard about the T3i, I decided that maybe I should take a look at it. Just as I suspected, it worked with all of my photography lenses for my Rebel XSI, and then it offered a lot of good video options, such as 1080p and also 720. So it allows for lenses which will give you a much better aesthetic, and it records great HD video. If that's not enough, there's also one more thing that was pretty much one of the selling points for me. It's got a flip-out screen. This is great, especially for someone like me, because I record a lot of videos sitting right in front of the camera, and I always need a way to see how I look to make sure the framing is right, and this really allows for a lot of that capability. As you can see, it comes out all the way. It's not blocked by the camera at all. You can really see the screen. Here it is so you can see it while it's on. This is something that the previous Rebels didn't have, and that's exactly the reason why I went with the T3i instead of the T2i, which is slightly cheaper. In fact, the screen is the only reason, considering the T2i and the T3i are almost exactly the same camera. I don't have a T2i for myself, but I've been reading a lot into it because I wanted to save some money. I wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting any money buying the T3i over the T2i. So I looked into it, and as far as features goes, as far as video recording goes, as far as photography goes, the T2i and T3i are almost identical. The big difference is really just this screen here. I love the camera. It's been working really great for me so far. Now let's talk about lenses for a second. The one thing that makes Canon cameras great for video shooting is the fact that they can use amazing photography lenses. There's tons of HD cameras out on the market. You can get HD cameras with amazing quality, but very few of those cameras, especially the ones that are affordable, come with a good lens. They come with decent lenses. They come with lenses that'll get the job done and have an okay aesthetic look, but the majority of HD cameras cannot swap out lenses. Canon DSLRs can do exactly that, and that is one of the biggest reasons that I decided to get a DSLR to shoot video. The flip out screen helped me make that decision, but ultimately it was the fact that I could use much better lenses on a DSLR than I'd ever be able to use on my Canon HD video camera. There is actually one thing I really don't like about this camera, and it's the way that it records the video. This camera records video straight to .mov file types. That means your video is going to take up a whole bunch of space, and you're going to have to buy a bigger card size to really get a good amount of footage. I've got an 8GB card in this camera. That's not bad. That's a few thousand pictures actually. But with HD video, I can only get about 10 minutes of video footage. That's a problem because I've already been recording for 23 minutes on this camera. The camera that I'm using to record right now records the video in a way that it's compressed. So with an 8GB card on this camera, I can get up to an hour of footage, sometimes an hour and 20 minutes of footage. That's the same card size as the card that I would put in this and only get 10 minutes of footage for. That's my only gripe about the camera. Canon actually knows how to store files in a way that really takes advantage of small disk space like 8GB. Why didn't they put it in this camera? I don't really know, but maybe that'll be in the next camera. So yep, that's my review. If you have the Canon T3i, tell us what you think about it in the comments below. If you're looking to get the Canon T3i, leave any questions about it in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.